There has been no prison in history to match its rivalry. No prison in history to match its security. No prison in history to be so cruel if there were an escape. I'm of course comparing these to the infamous Alcatraz. Alcatraz was built on Angel Island in the San Francisco Bay after being converted from an old naval fort. And this prison was made to hold the baddest of the baddest, the cruelest of the cruel. People like, well, Al Capone, Machine Gun Kelly, and other mobsters of that notoriety. So, what was Alcatraz? Alcatraz was a prison, but it was an unescapable prison, as they deemed it. Opened in the 30s, and if you were sent here, you were sent here to die. I'm sorry to say that, but you were. Now, Alcatraz had many different safety measures. It had sniper towers, spotlights, acid. Wait a minute, acid? Are you sure? Oh, okay. Acid traps. For if there was a riot in the cafeteria, they could just lock it down with spraying acid. It was the cruelest of the cruel, but people did try to escape it. 12 escape attempts were made, and all 12 of them failed. But there was a 13th. This 13th would see the end of Alcatraz. 4 inmates come together in the cafeteria and say, hey, come closer. Yeah, you want to get out of here? Yeah, let's do it together. And so they devised a plan. The plan was to dig holes in the vents of their cells. After that, they would climb up to the roof, well, up to the top of the cell block, and grab the makeshift boat. After that, they'd then get onto the roof and down onto the coastline. Once on the coastline, they inflated the boat and rowed to safety. But I hear you asking, surely someone's going to notice if a prisoner's gone. That's where they were smart. One of them actually made fake heads, and since he worked in the barber shop, he could get real hair. So, the stage was set over 1 year in the making, and finally come down to this. Frank Morris, John Anglin, and Clarence Anglin all open up the fake vents in the back of their cells, obviously to hide up the evidence, and they then escape through the back of their cells. Now, the 4th one, who I can't remember for the life of me, he was so intrigued on getting the heads finished that he hadn't made a big enough hole in the back of his cell. And worst of all, there was an iron support in the way, which means he had to cut through that to get out and make the hole a bit bigger. But while he was doing that, the other 3 were already up at the top of the cell block. They had grabbed the boat, grabbed the life rafts, and were making their way onto the roof. Now, people say that the watchmen in the sniper towers were sharpshooters. They could pick off the flea off a dog's back at 500 yards. But actually they weren't. They would just hide and say, here's your rifle, shoot anything that tries to escape. And so, they ran down. They ran to the beach, avoiding spotlights. And once they got to the beachhead, they inflated the rafts and escaped over the San Francisco Bay. Now, by the time they had reached the beachhead, the 4th one had only just made it to the top of the cell block. So, he went down to the bottom, back to his cell, and got some sleep. Now, the Anglin brothers are unfound to this day. They've probably changed their identity to something we would not recognise it as. But shortly after this escape attempt, actually in the morning at 6 o'clock, rise and shine everyone! And it's like, Anglin, get up. Anglin! And he shakes the head a bit too much and it falls on the floor. And that's when they realise they've had an escape attempt. And not only have they had an escape attempt, but they've had a successful one. So in the following months, prisoners would be moved to other prisons that was said to be as secure as Alcatraz, but I don't think they were. And then Alcatraz was closed, but it was then reopened as a tourist attraction. So if you want, you can go to Alcatraz. All you need to do is go to San Francisco, find the right boat, and just go there. And then you can see what the Anglin brothers, Frank Morris, and the other one had to do to get out. So that is it for Alcatraz. Let me know what you think about Alcatraz in the comments below. Click that subscribe button if you do not want to miss any history videos from my channel. And if you really don't want to miss any history videos, then I suggest you click that bell button. But that is it for this week. I will have more videos in the future, but I'm going to go relax now because I've been recording way too much. And this is Beast, and I will see you guys in my next history video.